So you did the first one. What did you, I mean, it's a labor of love first. Anybody that's written a book before, you know it's a labor of love. And plus, you like 10x, 20x just to make sure it's damn good. First book was amazing, right? What made you so quickly want to go to the next one? And what are you looking to get out of it?
Man, writing books is like such not a good use of time. As much like it's something, it's honestly like a guilty pleasure. Like it takes too much of my time and I enjoy it. Cause a lot of people don't know this about my background, but like I was the vice editor of the newspaper. I was the editor in chief of the literary magazine. I got a writing scholarship going into college. Like I've been writing a long time and I enjoy writing. And so this is the only thing that I get to marry my two loves, where like I love writing and I love business.
Yeah.
And so it's my like chief form of expression. That's why Twitter is kind of like a microcosm of that. But the point of $100 million leads was to answer one question. And the first one, $100 million offers, answered the question, what do I sell? Leads answers the question, who do I sell it to? And so most people, once they have something to sell, they're like, okay, now what? And this book pretty much walks you through how to get basically this book can get most people to a few $1 million a year. That's it. And so I see this, like the books are my absolute long game, because the amount of guys that I see every single day that stop me, like when we're walking, who are like, dude, I'm 21, I've got my thing, I'm doing, 70 grand a month, and you're on my vision board. As soon as I cross $1 million in profit, like I'm hitting you up. And so like, there are so many of those guys right now who are like incubating that I know in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years are going to hit that. And I just want to be the first person they call.
Right.
And that's it. And
Top
but like, that's it's my longest game. Yep. Like the books are my absolute, which is why I spend so much time on them, because if they're not going to be good enough to still be referred to and sold in a decade, there's no point in me writing it today.
Yeah.
Like what I get, the book launch money, like it cost me more money to put the event on than I'm probably going to make from the book.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the media team, my losing money media team.
Yeah.
I say it with love.
Losing money media team.
No, you guys are awesome. Writing a book to make money off of a book is possibly the worst monetization vehicle of all time. It's a physical product. You have a 16-week lead time. You have to manage inventory counts. You make no money on it. You have to sell it on a platform that takes 80% of the money, or you have to go to a publisher that also takes 80% of the money. Like, there's no winning from a money, like the percentage of like the offers is top 100 Audible books still on Amazon 2 years later, and top 1,000 physical books.
Wow.
There's like 60, I think 60 million titles. There's 6 or 60 million. That's a big difference, obviously, but a lot of books on Amazon. And so it's a 0.0001% book. And like, it makes money, but like, it makes less than any of my portfolio companies, to give like a reference of scale.
Yeah. I mean, you're not retiring from the
right.
book.
No, I mean, if I spent no money, you know what I mean? Like any of the companies we have makes more money in the book.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, but it's like it lives on forever.
And that's cool. Yeah. And I think that's like if I were to die tomorrow, the thing I'd be most proud of is the books, because I knew that would be the thing that would outlive me the longest.
Yeah. Which is interesting. We'll come back to the book in a second, but I think you talked about how you don't believe in the concept of legacy. Yeah. Right. Kind of is your legacy
in the formal sense. Yeah. I don't believe in individual legacy.
Yeah. Can you expand?
I do. Yeah. So like, I don't believe in your name being passed on for thousands of generations. I mean, like, to prove the point, do you know what your great grandfather's name was? Probably not. Right. And so like, that's not even that many generations back. And so to have like the ego and the thinking that like you're somehow like your progeny are, and even if you somehow became king of the world and you did have that, they wouldn't know who you were. You would just be like another historical figure that they could then trace their bloodline back to. And then if you do the math on how related you are to them, like if you go, 0.5 to the 8th, I mean, you're not related. You're just another human. And in to that degree, then relation generalizes to all of humanity. And then you just become a humanitarian, in which case I am pro-legacy from that perspective. And I think that the ultimate legacy is education, because all of us here are sitting here in a house full of inventions that other people that we don't know invented and made our lives better. And that, I think, is like the ultimate legacy for humanity, is that we just fall and someone picks up the baton where we left off and carries it. But like, I think the ultimate wasted life is one where you learn lessons and pass it on to no one and force someone to quite truly reinvent the wheel.
Naval has so the book he recommends the most is I think it's The Beginning of Infinity or something like that. Yeah, David Deutsch or whatever.
I haven't read it.
So this dude, and it's like a super dense read. But like I haven't completed it. But this guy's like, what is wealth? And wealth is knowledge. To your point, you just said it's education, right? Like that is the thing that continues to compound beyond you and me. It lasts beyond money.
Yeah.
And like that is what should matter. Like how do we make people wealthy? We educate them.
And if you think about the reverse of that too, if you had a lot of money and you gave it to someone, how would you guarantee that they lose the money? You have them completely uneducated and completely ignorant. And so there's I think it's Sanskrit. So it's a super old like ism, but it says, if you have a bad son, there's no point in saving money. If you have a good son, there's no point in saving money. Because if you have the good son, he'll take care of himself. If you have a bad son, he's going to squander everything you have, which basically means that at no point does it ever matter what you accumulate, because either you passed on education, in which case they never needed you to begin with, or you pass on no education and they were going to lose everything you had.
That's so good.